Hi everyone, I am live here in Instagram with Immunocologie, and Patricia Ladis is going to be joining us. I've had the first time doing a Instagram live, and I must tell you, by myself I should say, and I must tell you, wow, it's so crazy. So I'm going to join, Patricia. I think she's going to join us any moment here. And we're going to talk about her new book, which is actually amazing. It's right here. Hey, Patricia.
Hi, there it is.
I have to tell you, I'm so excited to talk about our skin today. Look at us. We're all ready to do a little self-care, I want to say spa day. Right?
Yes. Instead of the bathroom, it's the spa room.
I know. Again, my bowl's here. Right? Yes. But I want to talk a little bit about your new book.
Yes, absolutely. We're so excited because, helping a woman from preconception throughout pregnancy and postpartum, there's so much to talk about, right? But oftentimes my patients would ask me, I don't know if this is safe. I used to use this. I have this kind of skin and my skin's changing. And there were always so many questions. And so I'm really excited today to kind of almost have this as our tutorial of like, okay, I'm pregnant. What are the products that I should use? How do I use them? And then I'm postpartum. What are the products that I use? Which ones should I actually, and how do I use them? So, it's exciting because there's so much, and I know what a difference it's made in my skin. But what I love is that the Immunocologie brand has its whole foundation is in the French clay. And that is minerals. And often, 95% of the world's soil is demineralized. So we need these minerals. Our skin reflects the fact that we don't have these minerals. So it's really important to nourish the skin with those minerals. And so I love that the foundation is such a pure element from a mineralized rich soil in France. And that's kind of really what drew me to the line to begin with. And the fact that I love Karen and, trust everything that she puts out there, because it is very much rooted in science, but also with such care and such love to really help others. So, so what are we starting with?
Well, I thought that was great is if we could do, during pregnancy, we want to be careful about what we're putting on our skin. And that's why we're together, because it's all about putting clean ingredients on. But as we do that, we also want to be cautious about how we're putting it on. So I thought today would be really fun to talk a little bit about the products, how they work. And then also let's show you, I want to show everyone how to put them on, because to me, that's a lot of fun, right? Having a little spa day and having the ritual and knowing how to do that. So I got my little headband on here, got my hair pulled back, put my bathrobe on, and I feel like I'm ready to go, right?
Yeah,
You're ready
I'm
to
ready
go.
for sure.
So what I thought we would do is start with our cleansing lotion.
Yes.
Now the cleansing lotion is actually a lotion. I'm just going to show you a little bit. So it's a cleansing lotion. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit and put it into our fingers here. And we're going to moisten our fingers just a little bit. And once we do that, we're going to then start to use this put this onto the skin. And I'm going to show you the technique to do this. Okay, so we're going to start. And you're going to see my hands go in and out, in and out. And then we're going to walk up to the forehead. Notice I kind of go in and out. I'm not just scrubbing like this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to then take and I'm going to work across and across, and I'm going to go to the neckline. Now I want you to take your knuckles, and I'm going to have you take, and work your way out. Oh, that's really good. Patricia, you're really good at this.
I'm like, I have trained hands, but not for this, but this is kind of fun. It feels good.
Right? And so you're going to use your forefinger knuckle, and you bring the two of them again. That's like your brush. And you're going to break up the dirt and the debris off the skin, any pollution, anything on the forehead, and you're going to stimulate the skin. And that's a great way to get the skin to stimulate it, but at the same time help to get rid of the dead skin cells. So once we've done that, we're going to rinse. And I'm going to get a little water here. I'm going to just rinse. This is fun. Hey, everyone at home watching this and being with us today. So we're going to come back. And then as you do that, I'm going to just take little towel here, and I'm going to actually pat dry.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to not rub the skin. I don't drag the skin. Everything is done in very light movements. And after we do that, and we rinse this, and of course, if you're in the shower, and you have it in the shower, you can do the same thing. Or if you buy the sink, you could do the same thing. But just take a little bit of time to work with your hands, and don't just scrub it on, work with it. And the ingredients in this, the cleansing lotion has our clay water, which is our delivery system. It's the 12 essential minerals that are in the water. And so the next step that we're going to actually do is going to be the clay water. And the clay water is the delivery system. So when we use the cleansing lotion, which has our belenite oil in it, it has our burgundy grapeseed in it, it also has our avocado in it. I mean, it's so delicious for the skin, but it's there to nurture the skin, but not strip the skin. Right. So we're really feeding the skin this nutrition, the vitamins, and the minerals. Then we love the spray. We're gonna mist our skin with the spray, and I like going in a little circular movement, go in the center, and make sure we get the neck as well, and do a few extra spritz. But this isn't being in a spray, but this is the 12 essential minerals. Yeah, pat it nicely on the skin. And what we have found with this is not only is it anti-inflammatory for the skin, but it also helps to hydrate the skin. At the same time, the 12 essential minerals are, I call it imploding, drinking for the skin. It's a drink for the skin. I actually came up with this phrase, juicing for the skin. So this is what the Immunocologie Vital Ionic Mist does. But it also has what we call a negative charge because we ionize it. So it has that ability to go in and give the cells a great energized cell. Nice. And it helps to hydrate it at the same time. So I call it for pollution.
I literally hold on to this in my bag with my little cap. And every so often I'm going there. And I love that it's in glass, so you don't get the impurities of leaching plastic. And that's always what a pregnant woman and a postpartum woman is thinking. So it's very important. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So next step is you don't do anything but just let that Vital Ionic Mist just soak into the skin. Like I said, juicing for the skin. And the next step, simple, we're going to put our moisturizer on. Yeah. And that's going to be our day protection. And when we do this, as you know,
I love it.
Isn't it gorgeous? It really is gorgeous. It's simple but beautiful. And so you're going to take what I call just really like a dime's worth, right? Yeah. And I'm going to put it onto my fingers. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to rub. I want you just to take the cream between your fingers, and then you're going to start to pat it onto the skin. I call this pat, rock, and roll. Get above the lips as well, right? Let it soak into the skin, and you have some of that mist on the skin, so that's going to pull that into the skin and give the skin the nutrition that we're looking for. Nice. Get onto the neck as well. Doesn't that feel wonderful?
It does. It's such a nice balance, you know, it's not too much, it's not too little. And for a pregnant woman, we're actually going to be using this also at night because when you're pregnant, you've got more oils. So if you use the night cream, sometimes it tends to be too heavy, will clog your pores, right? So we want to repeat this for your night routine as opposed to using the night protection.
Correct. So, you know, sometimes we think, well, moisturizers might be too much or too heavy for us, but this is made so it's very light. And it has two things that happen with this. One, it has the clay water. So again, you're getting that nutrition from the 12 essential minerals.
We got the minerals.
And it also finds where you need the water and where you need the oil. So we have this mechanism. Sometimes I always say, look at the cream. You can actually see the molecules. But the purpose of that is we want to hydrate the skin and lubricate it, but not be too heavy on that. So especially when you're pregnant, you know, your skin is going through all different temperatures as well. So this is going to nicely melt into the skin and be able to be soft and also get the skin glowing. I mean, that's the other part of this. It's just the skin just looks so vibrant. So that's our day collection.
Right.
Simple.
That's it. Yeah. And then again, throughout the day, you can just kind of mist on a little bit as you start to feel like you need a little extra. Yeah. And then perhaps you did go into the shower and you're pregnant, you may want to use your body serum, right?
So luscious.
This is just kind of gorgeous, this body serum. So I love it. I even work with some of my pregnant patients with it because it's so clean.
And
and
also
we don't put
on the belly.
on their body.
Yeah, and on the belly. Get it on the belly because it helps with stretch marks too. So and again, you're bringing this nutrition into the skin. And watch this. It's actually a spray. Not everyone has. It just sprays on so nice and evenly on the skin. And I'll tell you, the skin just looks so gorgeous, and it's light. This is, again, we use Balinese oil, which is from the desert date tree from Africa. And we also work with women. We actually have a facility there in Burkina Faso, and giving back to the community by having this little business for them to be able to have the opportunity to collect the nuts, open the nuts up, and we actually crush them right there.
Oh, I love it. Giving back.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. So, the women are so excited there in Africa being able to, do this for us at Immunocologie. Love Immunocologie. But what I love is that we're giving back to them, and they're getting what when you're doing something like that, you're helping other people in such an important way for their life.
That's right.
But also, I wanted to say, part of the fair trade and also what we call the Nagore Protocol, and that is to make sure that we are doing things that are safe for them as well as when they work with us.
That's right.
That is important to our sustainability mission, as well as having the sustainability in the ingredients as well.
Well, I can tell you that you can smell the earth, It just smells so pure. And really, I'm a very big fan of Zach Bush, and he talks about, the minute that we start to distract from nature, how that can be really problematic. And we're talking here about really being one with nature, one with nature, and sticking as closely as possible to nature, because you know what? It's got all the answers, I'm convinced.
Yes.
So, here we are with this. And I would say also, because I do have it in my office and I use it with some of my patients in between, because I'm washing my hands. I always wash my hands though, because I'm a physical therapist. So this is a normal thing for me. Yeah. But in between, I just take a quick one and there we go in the back of the hands, because this is, in New York City right now, there's snow on the ground. It's crazy, drying. And, it can happen at multiple seasons, but, definitely in the wintertime, we need this extra. So it's a nice buffer for me.
And you notice how it's not sticky. It's not heavy.
It's not.
It melts right into the skin. So if you're thinking of a oil that's going to go on your skin, this is the opposite of feeling heavy and sticky. So and again, putting it onto the skin, you put your clothes on afterwards, it's not going to be greasy. So, but it's going to be conditioning. So beautiful.
Yeah. So
all right.
So now we cut forward. We just finished our pregnancy. We have a beautiful baby in our arms, and we are postpartum, and all of a sudden we feel like, right? So I just feel like this, right? If I'm going to, my dancer self comes out. So generally speaking, we now look at how to rehydrate, because now we're dehydrated. If you're breastfeeding, you're needing every single ounce of hydration as possible. Your skin is looking different. You might have some dark spots. You might have some blemishes. You might have a few other things that are going on, but drying tends to be a thing. So, we didn't say one thing. 3 times a week, we both recommend that someone does an exfoliating, cleansing. So if they're going to use the cleanser like we talked about at the top of the video, we want them to make sure that they're doing some form of an exfoliation. And what we could do is actually use the amazing clay, just a little bit, right?
Yes. This is, in between your every other day, or it could be twice a week, it could be 3 times a week, but it's something that could be used as your mask. But also, remember we were talking, it can be used also as a scrub.
Right.
Which is really exciting. So if you don't have time to mask, use it as your cleanser. And so taking a little bit of this, and I'm going to show you, because this here, when we get this on, you're going to take this, get it into your hands, and I'm going to just show you because it's really fun to see.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off what I have on
just
so you can all see this. I'm going to moisten my fingers a little bit, and I get it moist. And as a scrub, I can go in and I can do this as well. And notice how I'm moving it around, but I'm not going just like this. I'm actually moving this around in a nice, gentle way on the skin. And then if I want, I can also let it sit as a mask.
Uh-huh.
This way, I've got a little scrub getting rid of those dead skin cells. And that's something that it's like polishing the skin. So you have, it's like, I also call it my multitasker, because you take a little bit of that and you get it on the skin, but you let it dry. Don't have to have a thick amount, but just like with Patricia, she's doing.
I'm actually applying it the way that
like a mask.
Like a mask. And
yeah.
you know, I think what ends up happening sometimes is you end up getting blemishes. And
yes.
I like the fact that you even have the little spot treatment.
Yes.
You know, I do this for myself and my kids. Little hack,
yes.
little mom hack here. If there's any sort of like blemishes, you know, you get a zit and you're like, what is that? You know, I literally just put it on and leave it at night. And then by the morning, it's gone.
Isn't that amazing?
I cannot tell you over and over again. I put this on and my body's like, oh yeah, right. I was a little bit imbalanced here. Now I'm going to balance myself out. And by the morning, it's gone. So,
and it was my kids who actually said, Mom, this is really good on my blemishes. And so they said, you should do a spot treatment. So that's how that came about, by the way.
Wow.
So you are so right. And so now with Mask Knee, where we are breaking out because of what's going on. Oh, look at that beautiful mask. I love it. So I've got it the scrubbing way and you have it the mask way. So
yes.
This is why this is a great mask, because it's a multitasker and it is pulling out. We call it, it's what we call the detoxing, getting all of those impurities out of the skin. You know, just like we detox the body, the skin needs that detoxification. So we're getting out from the French green clay. We've got the water in there as well. And along with that, we're actually being able to purify the skin, take down inflammation, also hydrate the skin. Believe it or not, you know, a lot of people say, oh, clay mask is going to dry my skin.
No,
nope. Immunocologie. This actually hydrates the skin because of the water that's in it.
When I take it off, right?
Yep.
So we have the clay mask.
Yep.
We were talking, just to recap, with the cleansing lotion, you could take a little bit of the mask and just rub it and do the way that Karen said, so that you can actually exfoliate. We need to make sure that we do that 3 times a week when we're pregnant. But
yes.
when we're in postpartum now, as we're going into the next stage here, we definitely want to continue to do that 3, maybe sometimes more times a week, because we're really getting that need for cellular turnover, because everything's kind of like, right. You know, you're in that healing phase. The body's a little sluggish. You're resting. I see here my boys love it. My boys too. I have 2 boys and a girl, and I'm like, meh, meh, and they're like, Mom, you're putting girl stuff. And then I put it on and then it works. And they're like, can you put that girl stuff on me again? So, you know, they love it. They love it. And
well, that's why I call it neutral.
It works.
That's why I call it gender neutral, because guys love this as well. So
of course.
Get your husbands and your boyfriends and your kids.
And you can see now as I'm staying here how it's starting to get into the lighter green, because it's starting to really do its job, and it feels tight. It feels like it's lifting my skin. And when I wash it off, I feel like a baby's bottom. I mean, I'm like, wow, supple and hydrated and nourished, and really just kind of feels so yummy, you know.
Yeah. Well, the skin glows afterwards too with this.
Totally.
And you know, you were talking about, you know, after pregnancy and you're breastfeeding, and if you're not, you're still up all hours of the night and taking care of the baby, and your whole body is going through a change. And so what this does is just brightens up the skin, and that hydration that you bring to the skin as well. Yeah, let's take a little bit of this off. But also, you know, we did a study on this, a consumer study, and every woman who had actually tried this French Vital clay was so impressed with it that everything that I thought the clay would do, the mask would do, they said it did. And I wasn't even part of the study. They just came back and said that it evened out the skin tone, it hydrated their skin. And also,
that's a huge point for postpartum, because our skin tone actually changes and becomes the most imbalanced probably ever. And you start to see those hyperpigmentation, and you start to see all of this shift, you know, in the body. And so this is a great thing, and almost, I would say, rather a necessity, because I'm all about prevention. So this is somehow that you can, you know, you're educating yourself now so that later you're prepared. And already I feel such a difference. I know, and I the other day, leave it on the whole time.
I know. The other day I was doing the mask, and and I left it on a little longer than I probably should have, but I took it off about an hour and a half later or something like that, because I was just working. And next thing I take it off and it's like my skin. And later on that day, someone was saying to me, what are you doing to your skin? It just looks so beautiful and it's glowing. That's what it does, you know?
That's what it does.
You know, and someone who doesn't want to keep it on as long, it's okay. You're still going to get that benefit of detoxing of the skin. The other thing I was going to tell you though is that
so we're going to mist now after that.
Yeah, let's do that. That is like I always say, cleanse, mist, and throughout the day. And don't wipe it off. You just like what Patricia's doing. You just want to let it soak into the skin and just let it get what we call the juicing for the skin, and just let it soak in. Beautiful.
And then we have because we're drier, we have now our night protection instead of day. So where we were doing day times 2, right? Morning and night. Now we're doing night times 2 instead. Yeah.
And this is, you know, what's great about this is that when you're using the night protection and you say, okay, well, could you use a day for night or night for day? It really depends upon how maybe dry you are, but also how sluggish the skin is, because this is where we come into balance. We really want to push that skin by having more hydration, more lubrication. So daytime, you're moving around, so your body is actually functioning. So the day protection is meant for that type of activity, where while you're sleeping, you're actually regenerating the cells. So you want something heavier to go onto the skin so that you have more potential of what I call feeding the skin and then renewal of the skin.
Great. So then how are we putting this one on?
So we're going to do the same thing. I want to make sure I really make the point with everyone is that you get it into your fingers. And if you notice, I'm just tapping. Now, a lot of times people will do this.
Yeah.
Ladies, don't do that, because you're losing the benefit of the beautiful ingredients, you know, with what we have in here. So you're going to start to do the same thing. You're going to pat, rock, and roll, pat, rock, and roll. And as you pat, rock, and roll, and you want to make sure you go, you know, of course, through the nose and up through the frown, the forehead, call it the 11th. You can also go around the eye area. I mean, we do have a special eye cream to use, but I do also like to get my moisturizer around the eye area. So, but we're keeping this very simple, because we know as mothers, we don't always have a lot of time for a lot of steps. So what's most important is that as we do this, doing something is better than not doing something at all. And doing something simple that's healthy for you is so very important. But with immunocologie, that's what you said in the beginning, Patricia. Putting something on that is nurturing the skin, nurturing the body. What we
as we nurture a baby.
Right? Exactly. What we put in our body is just as important as what we put on our skin. And the skin's microbiome is like the gut. So what we're doing and feeding the gut is very important, and the same thing with the skin. And keeping that skin balanced with water and oil. And that's what I've really been concentrating on when developing immunocologie. I wanted to make sure I was getting a good balance of both oil and water. So that's why you feel this vibrance to the skin.
Yeah.
With the clay water in it too.
Right.
Doesn't it feel great? I wish everybody else was doing it with us.
It feels great. And I think, you know, it is a simple few steps. And ultimately, you know, we do have a special. If anyone wants to try it, you know, you can use the code WISEWOMAN, and your first order, I believe, is 20% off. There's a little Valentine's special going on right now, right?
Yep. But it's WISEWOMAN20, WISEWOMAN20. They'll get 20% off.
Yeah.
And so what they would do is they'd shop, and then where it says code, you put in WISEWOMAN20.
Yay. And then, you know, we've got these like lovely little giveaways and wonderful kind of fun stuff. If you want to just try it out, you can direct message us, and we can see about, you know, getting you a sample to try out. But ultimately, you know, you won't be sorry. You'll love it so much. And you know, I always try new products for at least 30 days. So, and again, everything, it lasts, and it's in the perfect bottles to last. They're dark so the sun doesn't get in.
Right.
They're dark. They're glass so you don't have the impurities. And, you know, there's so many wonderful things you can do. And I highly recommend the whole line, but these are the key ones. That
right.
mask is like, you know, a saving grace.
It is such a saving grace. And, you know, I wanted to mention, Patricia, that for those who might want to try the smaller size, they can get what we call the deluxe size.
Right, right.
And what we do is it's categorized on the site as the sensitive line, but that's also for pregnancy skin. So this way, for your skin may be going through some sensitivity, you'll have the sensitive line. But if you want to try, if you're thinking, you know, how do I try it? Go to the deluxe size. It's $69 for this deluxe size. And of course, if you do that today, you'll actually get 20% off. But I want to also mention is that as you're going through this type of treatment, if you want to have a consultation, you can actually send us a note and we will actually set up a consultation and take you through this personally with one of our immunocologists. And I think that's a great, I mean, it's a no charge for you to do that. But you just let us know that you'd like a little help and we can take you through the steps and answer any questions you might have too. So,
and
so
soon
that's
we'll have
really
a whole, and I love that you're so dedicated to really supporting this community, that you're actually building out a whole other page for pregnancy and moms. And so that is going to make it so much easier for people to remember. And again, I would love everybody to know about the book, The Wise Woman's Guide to Your Healthiest Pregnancy and Birth. And here we are, just really two moms, one mom of four, one mom of three, out here trying to support, 4 and 3, and trying to help other mothers through these various changes in life, and where we know that supporting a woman is the #1 way to keep her healthy. #1, the way to keep her healthy as well as her baby healthy. So we're here to support you. Please reach out. And this has been so fun, Karen. Thank you so much. This is like, yay!
And thank you everyone for joining us today. Stay tuned though. We're going to be doing some more of these. We're going to be talking about things like baby massage and other exercises and things like that. So stay tuned. And don't forget, you've got to get Patricia's book. Wise Women is so amazing, and she does immunocology in here as well. So I wanted to say thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Yes, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So now you just have to hit X and save it.